Howdy everyone, Doc here. I'm on the pink couch in the quietest room in the house, and I'm going to give you my review of the PlayStation VR. It's now been out about 2 weeks. It comes in two different setups. One is just the headset and games, that's $399. The other is the headset, camera, and two PS Move controllers, that's $499. Howdy everyone, Doc here. I'm on the pink couch in the quietest room in the house, and I'm going to give you my review of the PlayStation VR. It's now been out about 2 weeks. It comes in two different setups. One is just the headset and games, that's $399. The other is the headset, camera, and two PS Move controllers, that's $499. You're going to, some of the things you're going to have to, of course, you're going to have the PlayStation 4. You're going to have the camera. And the unit actually sets up, there's an adapter that takes these two HDMI controllers and puts it into your PS4, and it actually hooks between your television and the PS4, and all communication is done through the HDMI connector. Howdy everyone, Doc here. I'm on the pink couch in the quietest room in the house, and I'm going to give you my review of the PlayStation VR. It's now been out about 2 weeks. It comes in two different setups. One is just the headset and games, that's $399. The other is the headset, camera, and two PS Move controllers, that's $499. You're going to, some of the things you're going to have to, of course, you're going to have the PlayStation 4. You're going to have the camera. And the unit actually sets up, there's an adapter that takes these two HDMI controllers and puts it into your PS4, and it actually hooks between your television and the PS4, and all communication is done through the HDMI connector. Some of the requirements you need to have space-wise is about a 7 by 10 foot area. I'm about 5 feet away from this camera, and it's zoomed in a little bit, but that's just about all you need is a 7 by 10 foot area. Once you get that area set up, make sure it is clear of any obstructions. Before you start your game, it will actually ask you, is the area clear? And you will see a picture from the camera, so you can double check. Also, this is kind of important. Make sure you are comfortable. This unit weighs just at about a pound, maybe just under a pound, and it will put some stress on your neck and upper back. And plus, you actually want to be sitting down while you're doing it, because that will cause what the motion-induced dizziness or motion sickness, vertigo, and you really need to be set down and be quiet and comfortable. Right now, there's only a few games out that require the PS Moves. One of them is Batman Arkham VR. In fact, on each game, it will tell you what you'll need, and that's one of them. Here's another one, that's PlayStation VR Worlds. It just says you just need the camera and, of course, the headset. Like I said, buy these and the camera used. It'll just save you some money, and because this is this is what you're wanting to get. It also comes with a pair of headphones, though I did not like them. They seem to be a little bit cheap. In fact, here's the good old apples. Though, use what you're comfortable with. I have seen some people play with the VR, and they're wearing full headsets, and I tried that with mine, and it was just too much weight on this really big head that I've got, which is surprising, especially if you hear my sister talk. So yeah, just use what's comfortable. On the cord to the headset, and you can't really see it real well here, but there are four controls. Two of them are the volume controls, one's a muting, and one's the power button. You'll have to cut on the PlayStation and then cut on this before you can use it. I wish you could do it, power this on, it would power everything on, but hey. One thing, the PlayStation VR is not for use for people under 12. I have no reason for that, other than I guess it's safety. There is also a piece of rubber around it. This, especially when you are using it and manhandling it a lot, it's going to fall out. You might want to just get some tape or something to tack it on there. You want to keep it to where it can be removed, because that's how you can get in and clean the lenses for the lenses on this thing better. And plus, also, it can be, if you're in a place where you're demoing to a lot of people, very quick cleanup and sanitization. And even though you have this on, your display is still being used. Your television set is still being used. That way, other people can see what you're actually, what you're playing, what you are seeing. Though sometimes it will, if you're playing some games, you will actually be needing. They will be needing to see what's on the screen, because you can have up to 5 people playing a VR game, or some VR games. And also, this unit can be used as a regular display for 2D applications, but really, why? You will not get HD quality on this. Even though this is 1080p, you're not going to get HD quality, but that's because the developers, in order to trick you into seeing that you're seeing 3D, has to fiddle with the physics of it, and therefore some things that are close are going to be sharp, and things that are far away will not be. I'll explain that a little bit later. And also, something that has come out since it's released is that this can be plugged into the Xbox. Though again, it's the same thing. You're just seeing a flat display. I've even seen somebody play Call of Duty Infinity Warfare with these on, but he said the results were just terrible because it wasn't made for 3D. You got to have it in 2D. And of course, just about all the games require the good old PS4 controller. There's one game though that's coming out in a couple of months called Farpoint that has its on PS Move that is actually set up like a rifle. That you'll have to, I don't know if it's going to be included in the game or you'll have to buy it separately. Though Farpoint looks like it's going to be the first person shooter VR, I think. I'm not sure. All right, now I'm going to demonstrate the unit a little bit. Okay, make sure of all things, first, that your camera is level. The PlayStation camera is level, because if it's not level, it's going to be looking at it like this, and you'll actually feel like you're not level yourself. Even I wish I could bring down my PlayStation so you could see the lights that are on this thing. There's many lights, including some on the back. That's what the camera looks at to track to track you. Some developers are actually working on to where you won't need a camera, but that's probably a couple of years down the road, and we'll I don't know, maybe use Bluetooth receiver or maybe even GPS. I don't know. Also, the black blocks out the light that is surrounding you, because if the light comes in, it destroys the 3D effect. Now, to actually use this thing, there are two buttons. This allows it to stretch it out. There's also a knob here that you can turn to cinch it down on the back of your head. That's one thing that's I've seen others talk about the PlayStation VR, is that it has most of the weight back here, while others have it right up here on the nose, and that can be very uncomfortable. So and also, if you wear glasses, don't worry about it, but I'll talk about that in just a moment. Take it and then cinch it down, and I've got to work on that a moment. And then to focus, there's another button that's right here on where your thumb would go, and that will help you focus the unit. But it's very, very easy, and if you take it off, just use that to pull the sucker up. Though it's very easy to use and put on. I know there's some magnifying loops that you put on that it's a visor type thing, and it's the same principle for taking them on and off. Now let's talk to you a little bit about having to wear glasses and VR itself. First, the unit has a focal length of 6 to 10 feet. Now you're saying, wait a minute, it's right up in front of my face, therefore the focal length is only like 2 or 3 inches. No, it's an apparent focal length of 6 to 10 feet. And the focal length is the distance between the lens and the back of the eye. Some old film cameras will have a place where the film would be, and that's where you would determine the focal length. VR in these things are, your brain is actually being tricked. It's just like the 3D magic scans that you see in the Sunday cartoon pages. The same thing, you bring it up and you trick your eyes into focusing, and then you see a 3D image. Now you're thinking, okay, I've got glasses, and this thing is right up against my face, so therefore I need to wear I have to wear my glasses so I can read. No, it's the focal length is 6 to 10 feet. If you see clearly between 6 and 10 feet, you're not going to have any problem. No problem with the unit. If you are extremely nearsighted, or if you have other vision trouble like I do, you might have to come up with something different. Now, for me, I wear, when I'm gaming, in fact, I had these designed or made earlier this year. When I started streaming, I could not read what was on screen and read what was on while I was playing. So I had some middle distance lenses, and this goes out to about 6 to 10 feet. I can see my screen right here pretty clearly. That's not so good. I'm actually going to have to talk to my optometrist to see if I can get something that can maybe push it out a little bit further. That way I can see a little bit clearer. Again, this unit is made for people that wear glasses. I'll just take it, put it on, and there you go. And again, adjust it to where it's comfortable for you. If you have any questions about your eyesight, of course, talk to your optometrist, because he or she will be able to recommend what's best for you. And if you have to order some middle lens glasses, get the cheapest. Really, I wear the. I mean, these things are expensive, and these are not. These were about $90. In fact, he just had these laying around. I said, "Ooh, I want to look like Clark Kent." Ha! So that's about the glasses. All right, I've already talked to you about some games that are out. There's about 2 dozen games currently, as I'm speaking right now, that are out. Some are available in the store. Some are, physical copies in the store. Some are only available online through the PlayStation Store. Probably you've seen this in on display as VR Worlds. It has 5 games in it: the London Heist, Scavenger's Odyssey, VR Luge, Ocean Descent, and Danger Ball. VR Luge actually looks pretty interesting because you're controlling the luge in a way similar that actual lugers do, and that's that they use weight, and here you're using the headset. There's also another one for Eve, and this is Eve Valkyrie. There's one called Eve Gunjack, which is right now about $10 US, where you're playing Galaga but with your head and a controller. You're just sitting there, and you where you want to aim the guns, that's where you do, and you fire your controllers. Same thing with Eve Valkyrie, though you control the ship using the controller, and you aim your guns with the headset. There are the PlayStation VR set that you'll get. Comes with I think it's like 5 or 6 games. They're mini games really, but they're kind of pretty good. There's one that I really enjoyed. You're a cat and you have to try to catch the mice. You have to sit back and a curtain closes up on you, and then when you see something out there, you put your head for it, and then you grab a cat. In fact, I was wanting to do this to grab the mice. And that would be something I think that they might be working on, is actually being able to use your hands and not these controllers to actually to control the grabbing motions and things like that. Something you see on futuristic VR. I've talked about Eve Valkyrie, which is a space shooter game. It's kind of a first person. Then there's the PlayStation Worlds, Batman Arkham VR, which, as you can see, I've not played yet because I've been cooped up with Eve Valkyrie. And then, of course, in the recently released Tomb Raider, which was for some odd reason released at about the same day as the VR, and there's the Blood Ties, that is VR. There's also a download for Star Wars Battlefront Rogue One X-Wing, which I think you're actually able to do the trench run. If you want to get your scare on, and I've seen one of my friends on Twitch and Instagram, she's been playing Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. In fact, she puts the headphones on her friends and headset on the friends, and scares the crap out of them. And then there's one coming out called Farpoint. It's a first-person shooter that it will have to from what I've seen, you will have to have it'll be a move type device that is looks like a rifle. It's white. Google it, look it up. There's also more games coming out all the time. There was one that was supposed to come out in November that was the Star Trek Bridge Crew by Ubisoft. It's been pushed to first quarter, I think March of 2017. And there's a whole bunch of games actually coming out in the first quarter, and then, of course, presently, and then they'll step along from there. You can, I think I saw that on Wikipedia when I looked up was looking up some more information for this thing, and just look around. And there's also some apps or that they have on the PlayStation VR. In fact, you'll have if you look on your PlayStation 4 console in stores, there is a thing that says PlayStation VR, so you don't really have to look up things separately, but you can. There's one that I've got that I've not looked around yet, but they have gone into real settings and around the world and taken 3D or that you can move about in. It's almost like an IMAX from the couple of pieces that I've seen. So all in all, what I give this thing a very high marks. It's well made. It's comfortable. My only detraction is that they have this on the left side, and all my stuff is on the right hand side. But that's a personal problem, not yours. Though a lot of times I just set it up. I have it right over here. I might put a little piece of something. I don't know. It's comfortable. You'll have to get used to the vertigo and the motion sickness. It's just, don't be discouraged if it takes you a while to get used to it. You'll also have to get used to being able to focus, because that's you're encountering something new. Just because it's new, don't throw it away. Get used to it. And there's more games, all sorts of games. There's Eagle Flight. Ah, yes, I forgot about that one. Eagle Flight. You are taking over a city as an eagle. It's a multiplayer online, and you fly like an eagle, and you take over certain parts of the city, kind of like you did in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Or other Assassin's Creeds, or Mafia 3. I could go on and on about games that you take over, and it looks pretty interesting. I actually can't wait for that one to come out, just because it looks cool. So I hope you'll see this under your tree. If you see it in your stocking, then you've got a huge stocking. I mean, the box is yay big. If you see a box yay big, then you might have gotten one. $3.99. I will not be surprised if the price gets knocked down pretty soon. It's very easy to put on, to set up. I think I had mine up and going in about 5 or 10 minutes. And you're just going to have fun. Give it time. And just enjoy it. Lose yourself in VR, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. And have fun and game on.